Okay, hello two dwellers and welcome to the Sunday sub battles. As you can see, a bit of a change of layout. Didn't really feel like the green screen today, so we'll just use a normal background. It's nice. Means everyone can see Samurai Quack in all his glory. Isn't that nice? Look, it's not weird anymore. So that's pleasant. Nip Nip, welcome. It was going great until I noticed that you still have that mermaid version of me on your icon, so that's horrifying. Thanks so much for that. Kito to Marksman, welcome to the stream. So is the man. Welcome. Ethnic Minibee, no green screen. No green screen today. I'm trying without the green screen today. It was kind of getting in my way a little bit, and the fact that nobody could see Samurai Quack properly was bugging me. So no green screen today. We'll go back to it if you guys prefer the green screen. It's hanging out in the corner there. So every time I turn the thing on, I gotta muck around with it. It's a pain. I'm feeling lazy today. It's very warm and sunny. Next time wear a green t-shirt using the green screen, yes. When I first started mucking around with the green screen, it hid black as well as green for some reason, and I was wearing black trousers. So as I was running my test, it was really weird. It looked like somebody just cut my legs off. Van Long Doan, welcome. Whippy, Duck Gensui, yes. Hello. Samurai Quack. He shames his ancestors. He can't remain vertical in water. He shames his ancestors. So, as per usual, we're going to just take like a couple of minutes while everybody gets settled in, and then we will jump into the sub-battles. There's nothing really to talk about today in Mabinogi Duel. They haven't released anything new in 11 days. I think it was the 7th when they released the last sort of patch, the Blaze Blue thing. So we haven't seen or heard from DevCat in 11 days. Search parties have been sent out, but so far no response. So there's nothing really to discuss. We'll just jump into the sub-battles. Keep it nice and short, which is good, because it's a sunny day, which means it's hot in here. So I'm wearing t-shirts and everything, because it's sweating. So we'll just go, we'll just settle in. So how's everybody doing for their Blaze Blue card so far? You got all of the 4 stars that everybody was looking for? Where are they all? These are all the old ones. Izanami's not. I still haven't gotten S yet, not the card. I got the hero, but I don't have the card. It's very depressing to me. Ah, well. Who has gotten... Minibee, all complete. Good. Lucky you. Well, I say lucky you. I assume some of those were bought, which is a smart way of doing it. I've just been throwing all my gems at the thing. I have no money, which is depressing to me. Somebody run S today, an S card today in the sub-battles. I think that would be funny. Also, if anybody wants to sign up for the sub-battles right now, please do let me know. We've already got a few people signed up via the Discord, but if you have not yet signed up and you want to get involved in the fights, let me know. Otherwise, we may just jump into the first fight. It depends on whether or not Ceremo is around. I think I'm missing him. Who's actually online? Kito to Marksman, Does that mean you've got them all, or you've got S, or you want to get involved in the fight? Oh, you want to battle. Good. Okay. Alright, you can go up against Moth then. Let me write that down. Kirito Marksman. There we go. Good. Let's check and see who exactly is online. So yeah, Minibee's on. Ceremo's not yet. Moth isn't yet. I think, yep, Ceremo, you're here. Good, excellent. Well, it feels like today's going to be a bit of a lazy day as regards the live stream. So if you just log in to Mabinogi Duel at any point, let me know when you're ready, and then send a battle request. Somebody send a battle request. I mean, during the tournament we like flip coins and things for it, but I don't think anybody particularly cares right now. If anybody really does care about who goes first, let me know and we'll flip a coin or something. We'll flip Samurai Quack. What we got online? A few people have popped back in. Good. Excellent. Nick Stalker's fighting. Maybe we should sneakily observe him. It's always so tempting to do that, but probably they wouldn't appreciate it. Where is Birdman? Birdman is Mateo, otherwise known as Ceremo. AKA. None of you guys have a universal in-game name. It's very confusing for all involved. But yes, if you are ready, Minibee, also known as Ithne, also known as Brand, if you are ready, then somebody sends... Well, once Ceremo's online, anyway. Not yet. But once he is, somebody sends somebody a battle request. Anyway, heck, I got no Ceremo on your FL, on your friends list. That's unfortunate. Well, I'll keep the friends list open here then, so that Ceremo can see. It's Mini B, the 4th from the top on the friends list there. Online just don't have me added. I could have sworn I had you added. Is my friends list just deleting more people again? This is so weird. It's like people send me friend requests and I don't know, the game seems to think that they should that it's okay to just randomly remove people off my friends list. I could have sworn you were on my friends list. Maybe I'm just going mad. Anyway. Yeah, so if you just add Minibee, you guys let me know when you're ready and we'll go on. Oh, 3 gifts from Whippy, thank you so much. I am so poor in gold, and that is appreciated. 8,000 golds. That'll help. Okay, starting good. Alright, the transition hasn't begun yet on my screen. Van Long Doan, can I friend add you? Yes, I will add anybody who sends me a friend request while we're live streaming. So just send it to me whenever, and I will add you. He refused. That's not very polite. Alright. I will stop refreshing then. Quintana Desuke. Okay, hold on then. While we're waiting for that, for the fight to start, I'll quickly add you. Scroll. Ash Whirley hasn't been on in 2 weeks, so delete. I'll just quickly add Quintana Desuke. Okay. And done. Good. Alright. The fight has begun, and we will jump in. Okay, so Ceremo up at the top with the Izanami, I think her name is, hero, and oh, that's interesting, Minibee down at the bottom with Pillion. Okay, and 4 mutants probably because of his ability. And Ceremo obviously with 0 mutants. Minibee opens with an aggressive light elephant, which Ceremo counters with an elephant of their own. Okay, so obviously Ceremo's elephant will die to Minibee's, barring any removals. Well, let's see. Alright, out comes G2, I assume, because it's all capitalized. And it's Ceremo's turn. Out comes a skeleton in front of the G2, and the elephants continue to just trumpet into one another. Let's see, Minibee's turn. Anytime you see G2, of course, you're going to see Nagi, not Nagi, see Nago now. You're going to see Alucard. But the G2 is about to die to the skeleton here. Well, Hikaru's Shuriken comes out and basically wipes the field clear. That's quite unfortunate for Minibee. And of course, because of Pillion's ability, his health continues to degrade over time. Both players level up to 2. More or less the same for resources, but obviously Minibee doing very badly for health because of the ability. Enamata, are you late? No, not really. It's only 11 minutes since we started, and it's just the first fight. Alright, so Minibee charges up, and charges up a second time. Okay, going to take that 6 damage, plus the 1 damage that he'll take next turn from his ability. Relius Clover comes out on Ceremo's side, and the skeleton and elephant deal their damage. Oh, of course, Pillion's ability doesn't actually decrease his health because now he's below 7 HP, which means that his creatures are going to be super buffed now, but unless he brings out some sort of big AoE, it's going to be problematic. Rachel comes out, Nago comes out. Daw, he cries. Now, is Nago the spell or the melee? No, he's the melee one. Upon death, transfers 4 HP from the enemy in front of it to a friendly Rachel Alucard. Okay. And of course Rachel's ability to deal some damage. Amanza comes out. Resurrect all killed creatures except himself when he dies. And Rachel takes a little bit of damage from Ignis, but nothing too major. Command Hunting comes out. That's going to take care of Amanza, who resurrects the Elephant and the G2 and the Nago, which actually helps protect Minibee's grave field, I should say. Magic Missile comes out. That's going to take care of the Nago with the skeleton's damage. And Alucard's ability activates, Nago's ability activates, bing, bang, boom. A little bit of damage to everybody, which is quite nice. Nago changes places with Alucard twice. The ability activates, drains the HP, gives it to Rachel, and deals 4 damage across the field. So it actually turned out quite nicely for Minibee there with his Amanza card. For everyone who doesn't know what that is, that's Amanza there, one of the old C1, very first collaborations to ever be released. Holy Missile comes out, takes care of Aurelius, leaving Ignis out onto the field, and that is a tasty little 11 damage out onto Ceremo, and now Minibee has battlefield control. Quite the swing. Impressive sight. Ceremo levels up to 3. Has a decent amount of resources, not amazing, but decent. Charges up, does 3 damage, of course, thanks to Izanami. I think her name is Izanami, please correct me otherwise. Oh, how feeble, he's talking smack to Minibee. Or maybe he's talking smack about himself. He might have been saying that 3 damage was quite feeble. So this is going to be 16 damage. That's going to take Ceremo down to 10 HP, which brings Ceremo very, very close to Minibee's HP. Pretty interesting. A triple charge there. No reason to do anything else because Minibee has battlefield control. Ceremo's turn. Heavy Offering comes out. That's going to snag the G2 and create a Calamus, which is both a good and a bad thing. Arma Reboare comes out and summons Kadir's Cap. Not so great. Ceremo resurrects, and that is actually going to cost him the game. Demon Calamus takes the Elephant, but Rachel is still left out onto the field. Flame Emission for no good reason, Minibee. Not very sportsmanlike there, but hey, you know, he won with an Alucard deck, so I suppose he deserves a little bit of fun at the end. And that is going to be game, set, and match for Minibee. I'll have you as my appetizer. Manages to land the finishing blow with the Calamus that Ceremo summoned. Congratulations to Minibee managing to win with an Alucard Pillion deck. Absolutely bizarre, but really well fought on both players' sides there. Well done. I am impressed. I am impressed. Not easy to win with Pillion, not easy to win with Alucard. So to do it with both, no mean feat. And some interesting cards on Matteo's side as well. Arma Reboare, which I just don't see people using. So, very interesting and very well played. Next up is Moth versus Kito Marksman. So, Moth versus Kito Marksman. I'm just checking to make sure. Okay, yeah, nobody sent me anything saying they're going to be late. So, Moth and Kito Marksman, when you guys are ready, please let me know in the chat. And then somebody send somebody a battle request. If anybody else would like to get involved in the sub-battles, do let me know now. And we'll add your name to the list. Miss Zero, what did you miss? What's the duel themes? Right now, no particular modifier. It's a lazy Sunday today, so everyone's just running some silly fun decks. We've had, what was it? Ceremo was running Arma Reboare and Relia's Clover, and Minibee was running Amanza Alucard Pillion deck, which was hilarious. Okay, Cheng Li wants to battle. Good, good. I will write your name down. Cheng Li. All right. Anybody else wants to get involved in these? Miss Zero, you'd battle, but you prefer monster only. Well, ask Cheng Li if they're okay with that. I'll write you down. Whippy, you're out of deck ideas. No, say it isn't so. Whippy, what happened to you? We have faith in you. Quickly, come up with something. Or recycle one of your old decks. They were hilarious. Get the Nature Goblin Town deck back out. We loved that one. That was so much fun. So yes, Moth and Kito Marksman. When you guys are ready, please let me know and then send a battle request. Someone. Impossible, cries Enamata. Miss Euro wants a creature battle with Whippy. Okay. Kangi, welcome, welcome. Moth, it's your turn. Yes, it's your turn. You're right after Bryant and Ceremo. Can you get a friend request? It's from Kito Marksman. You can see him on the list. He's actually in a fight at the moment, apparently. But you can see him on the friend list there. Fourth from the top. Kangi, sign you up. Alrighty. Kangi, who wants to go up against our reigning tournament champion? Moth just got here a bit late. Had to deal with cats. Yes, so many cats. I know. You're turning into a crazy cat lady. Miss Hero, gonna make a new creature-only deck just in case anyone will battle you creature-only. Okay. Well, again, ask Cheng Li if they're up for a creature-only battle. They might be. You never know. Maybe should have asked against Kangi. You can fight again. It's a lazy Sunday, so I'm not enforcing the one battle per round rules. If you want to fight Kangi, then just let me know and we'll sign you up a second time. What's this? What? No, Quintano, I'm not fighting you. We're spectating other people's fights. Miniby, yes, Alucard. Are you saying that you do want to fight Kangi and you want to fight him with Alucard, or are you just saying, yes, Alucard, for no apparent reason? You have to be very clear. Okay, so Sloth Lord and Kirito Marksman. Yep, okay, you keep saying yes. I'm going to assume what your meaning is yes, I want to fight Kangi. Alright, so I will sign you up. Mini B. Miss Zero is challenging Kangi to a creature-only battle. Challenging everybody to a creature-only battle. I think people are avoiding it because there was a limited arena a while back, a couple of months ago, I think, which was monster-only, and it was basically just Xena. I think people got kind of just annoyed. Moth sent a friend request. Good. Okay, so Kirito Marksman, Sloth has sent you a friend request. Please add him and get into a fight. Kangi doesn't have a creature-only deck. Most people don't. You could put one together quickly, but no. That's up to you. I think we did a creature-only modifier once. We did a spell-only modifier once. That was nice. Okay, says Kirito Marksman. Good. Just wait for the ad. And if Miss Zero and Cheng Li, if you guys can make sure that you've added each other to friends list, and Kangi and Mini B, if you guys can do the same. Mr. F. Xena, I want an honest battle. Yeah. Well, Mabinogi Duel is a very mathematical game, so I mean, there's always going to be like one or two cards in any kind of limited format that are just better than all the others. Spell modifier only Slapfest. Yeah, it was basically, what was it? It was Slap, Poisoned Arrow of Journa, and Arrow of Revenge. I think it was basically it. I think somebody actually brought Summon Dead. I think somebody brought Summon Dead to counteract the inevitable counterspells. Enamata, currently debating whether you should participate or go to sleep. You should participate. Moth says goat. Alright, let's see. Yep, transition has begun. Excellent, excellent. So many little goats. It's adorable. Hello, says Phantom Fox. Hello, Phantom Fox. Welcome to the stream. This transition is taking a while. There we go. Alright. Spectate. Okie dokie. So we have Sloth up at the top, Kirito Marksman down at the bottom. Both players using S. Sloth with 2 mutants and Kirito Marksman with 1. A discard into nature by Moth. Sloth, I should say, just to keep it easy. So I was going to say, so we assume with an S deck that it's going to be an ambush vine, but apparently not. So not an ambush vine, not a cocoon trap. Must be hidden spider, not mist either, obviously. So must be hidden spider. Kadir's Flying Sword comes out aggressively from Moth. He's not going to worry too much about the elf, but it is unfortunately for him countered immediately by a paralyzing bullet, and then Hidden Spider is summoned out onto the field, so he hasn't really lost anything. Both players are of course going to do 1 extra damage to each other, and out comes a Fiery Zealot in front of the elf as a block. Fox, have you played Mabinogi Fantasy Life for the PC? I think I played it briefly a couple of years back, if it's the one that I'm thinking of. I don't really play MMOs. I find I get a bit bored of them after a while. The only MMO that I really play is Black Desert Online. Cowfish, you're going to think about it if you want a creature only game. Cool. I sold out now as Mabinogi Anime Life. Oh, I don't know. I know I played a Mabinogi game, not including Vindictus, which I know is set in the Mabinogi universe, but it's a different thing. I played Vindictus, and I played another game that I think was just called Mabinogi when it first came out. Eagle comes out, takes care of the archer that's in front of the Hidden Spider. Well, doesn't take care of it, but weakens it enough for the Hidden Spider to kill it. And that is 11 damage out on Sloth's field that Kito Marksman needs to answer. Out comes a Holy Missile that takes care of the Eagle, a very good resource trade there for Kirito Marksman. Still leaves a Hidden Spider out onto the field, but of course, you know, you can't really remove that with a spell. It's just going to resummon itself right back out onto the field again. So let's see what he decides to do with his second action. Both players doing well for resources and doing well for HP. Kirito Marksman drops a Goblin Bomb Squad in front of the Hidden Spider to block it. And let's see. Magic Sensing Bomb +1 comes out at level 3. That's going to be doing 8 damage if Kirito Marksman uses a spell, and Sloth drops a Growth Vine. That is quite unpleasant. So the Hidden Spider is going to die now to the Goblin Bomb Squad. No threat there, but Kirito Marksman does need to somehow answer that Growth Vine and the Magic Sensing Bomb +1. Out comes Susano, a good counter. Okay, so that is going to take care of the Hidden Spider, and Susano's ability is going to activate, injure the Growth Vine, and kill the Magic Sensing Bomb +1. Nicely done by Kirito Marksman there. Fender Fox, I'm under Lord Beast, PN, Ever Mabinogi Game, Even Duel. Okay, well, if I ever play it, I'll look you up. As I say, I only really play Black Desert Online and Warframe, but that doesn't really count as an MMO. So let's see. Sloth uses Command Hunting to weaken Susano enough for the Firebolt to kill him. Okay, so an expensive counter, leaving Kirito Marksman with a decent resource lead and more damage out onto the field than Sloth has. Kirito Marksman, of course, also up at level 3, and Sloth not quite there yet. Kirito Marksman revives from the grave, does a little bit of damage to himself, but not too much. Charges, which does charge up the Growth Vine, and then places an elf in front of the vine. Sloth now has to level up, so can only charge up once. So that will not save the Growth Vine from death, unfortunately for him. Fair amount of damage, 8 damage rather, sorry, done to the elf. But the elf, of course, will kill the Growth Vine unless Kirito Marksman charges it beyond kill range, which he's just done, which is unfortunate. Okay, so out comes a Holy Missile. That does kill the Growth Vine, leaving 11 plus an extra 2, so 13 damage coming out onto Sloth. That is going to be painful. Enamata, sign you up for a duel. Alrighty. Enamata. Dejun. Phantom Fox, you work on under Necromancer deck. Cool, Necromancers. Bluesy Floozy comes out. That's going to place an air bomb next to the elf, and she's going to jump in front of it for defensive protection. The Golden Bomb Squad, of course, is still going to be doing a significant amount of damage to Sloth. That's going to be 6 plus an extra 1 damage thanks to S's secondary ability. It's going to take Sloth down pretty darn low. Paralyzing Bullet comes out, which is quite interesting because that's just going to re-target it onto an air bomb. Kills his elf, the Hidden Spider, summoned thanks to the spell, leaving Moth with 14, of course, plus an extra 2. So Moth now actually has fatal damage on the board, thanks to that. So Kirito Marksman's in an awkward situation. Please forget about it. It was just a bad dream. Yeah, Kirito Marksman wishing he could wake up from this. Revives out of the grave. And is he going to be able to do anything, is the question. If he can get... Alright, so he... surprise attacks... Yep, okay, alright, so both players right on the edge here, man. Just surprise attack that Hidden Spider, and because Sloth's nature resources are down so low, that's not it doesn't resummon itself. Sloth revives from the grave, mine as well, when you only have like 2 HP. No real downside to it. Discards into gold, must be going for some sort of removal spell. No, a block. Okay, Fiery Zealot comes out to block the Golden Bomb Squad. And now both players right down at the wire here. Whoever lands the next blow on their opponent's health wins the game. So let's see. Can Kito the Marksman counter this Bluesy Floozy? Of course, Bluesy Floozy will protect herself against any targeted spells. Matty, all the text options by the BLZ heroes are edgy, yes. Big edgelords, these Blaze Blue guys. Okay, so a couple of discards into gold brings out Tsubaki. So, this is both players here just battling it out. Sloth, you will be eliminated. Does he have a plan, is the question. With 1, 2, and 3 resources, it's hard to see how he could. Further combat is meaningless. A lot of smack talk coming out. Are we going to see any result from it? A discard into mana. And an arrow of revenge. Out it comes. Down goes Kito Marksman. And that is going to be that. That was right down to the edge there. It's very, very close. Well played on both players' sides, and congratulations to Moth. Well done. Okay, well played, well played. Next up is Cheng Li versus Mist Zero. And we're still looking for somebody to fight Enamata. So anybody else who wants to fight, and you know, if you've already fought, you can fight again, by all means. Let me know. But yes, Cheng Li and Miss Zero, when you guys are ready, please send each other, well, let me know in the chat, and then send each other a friend battle request. Nick Stalker, hello. What's with that face, Nix? Come, sign up for a battle. Somebody needs to fight Enamata. Ugh. Oh, it's so hot outside, and in here too. Kalpesh, you will go after Enamata 2, okay? Well, somebody still needs to fight Enamata, but yeah, alright, I'll write your name down for another fight after whoever's going to be fighting Enamata then. Good, both are ready. I will keep an eye, whoopsie daisy, and keep clicking rather than stroking. Moth, if no one signs up, you'd love to fight Enamata. Well, if you would love to fight him, I will write you down. Kirita Marksman, you can fight again. Okay. Then... Man, okay, it's close enough. I will put you down for fighting Kangi. Transition has begun. Just waiting for it to key in on my screen. There we go. It's Cheng Li. Alright, Miss Hero up at the top with no mutants and the S Hero. Cheng Li down the bottom with 3 mutants and the S Hero. Both players using nature. But that's about it. Protecting Azure, that is the meaning of my existence. Which is how they say, how the S Hero says hello for some reason. So Miss Zero opens up with an aggressive elephant, which is answered in turn by a defensive Kadia's flying sword. Now, there is gold enough for a paralyzing bullet, but Miss Zero may not be carrying one. Let's see. Mini B, you may not be able to fight Kangi if your friend ends up coming there earlier. Okay. Well, it's right after this fight, so let me know. Okay, so down goes the flying sword, out comes the elephant. And Hunt comes out and takes care of the elephant. Miss Zero just not allowing Cheng Li to get any kind of footing on the battlefield, wanting to do as much damage as possible with the extra damage, of course. An elephant +1 comes out onto the field, which is quite interesting. Yes, okay. And both players have leveled up to 2. So the elephant +1, of course, will kill Miss Zero's elephant before it dies, and, you know, barring any removal spells. Let's see if Miss Zero decides that it's worth the cost. Fox, what do you think is a good multiply damage card and mid-crisis? I don't really understand the question. By multiply damage card, you mean like an area of effect card? In that case, it's Ambush is good, Ice Spear, of course, is great, Flame Emission, of course, is really good. Susano is a good AoE card, Hellhound is a really good AoE creature card. Trap in the Castle kind of is an AoE. It's a bit of a tricky AoE. But yeah, those are really the main ones. Multiply damage mirror ghost, yeah, technically speaking. The Great Elephant Wars 2017, yes. Magic missile comes out that's going to weaken the Black Sheep Pan enough for the Elephant +1 to kill it. Of course, the advantage to running a Black Sheep Pan is that it has no grave cost. It will always cost exactly the same. Out comes Hunter Piole, and that takes care of the Elephant, which is quite interesting. We haven't really seen people running Piole in their decks. And out comes Tokaka at level 2. Okay, so Miss Zero running an aggro deck here. Deciding not to bring out Tokaka on the first round, brings out this one anyway, and is answered by another Piole. Absolutely fantastic. Sigant, what did you miss? You missed a very interesting fight between Minibi and Ceremo, and a good fight between Moth and Kito Marksman, but apart from that, nothing. Now, sign up for a sub-battle. Miss Zero levels up to 3 and charges up, and it's Cheng Li's turn. Follow suit, I assume. Yep, there he goes, level 3. 999. Resources, so lucky, I suppose. And out comes an elephant into the middle. Oh, yes, it is the Great Elephant Wars. By the end, the battlefield's going to look more like an elephant graveyard. So let's see what Miss Euro decides to do. Both players doing very, very well for resources and pretty darn well for health as well. Cheng Li, of course, lagging behind slightly, but at 28 HP, it's not a big deal. 9, the Phantom comes out and drops a Hino Kagutsuchi in front of the Elephant, of course, paralyzing it. And Miss Zero charges up a couple of times to gain as many resources as possible. Of course, 9 being a very, very expensive card to drop, but it does meet HP breakpoints, so it's a fairly safe drop as well. If you're pretty sure that your opponent's not running anything unpleasant, like Casanova's Mask, for example. So the Golden Garden Cat comes out. The Casanova's Mask comes out, snags 9 the Phantom, and another charge. So Hino Kagutsuchi deals its AoE damage to the Elephant and to 9. Iron Tiger comes out on Miss Zero's side, which is very, very cool. Pushes the Golden Garden Cat out of the way. And a Susano comes out, and that is going to take care of that Golden Garden Cat and significantly injure the other cards on the field. Okay, so frozen, the Susano, of course, is frozen because it was placed in front of 9 the Phantom, and that is one of her abilities, but she is also paralyzed, so it's not a big deal for Mist Zero. He will lose next turn's strike from Susano, but it's safe enough where it is. Alright, so Cheng Li needing to think about this a little bit. Once Susano comes back out of his frozen state, that's going to be pretty big damage out onto the board there. And the Iron Tiger, of course, does a lot of damage himself. Out comes the Magic Missile, and that does take care of the Susano. 9 the Phantom, of course, still not going to be dealing any damage. Religious Confession comes out, seals and disappears Tiger because it is a collaboration card. And the Elephant finally dies to Hino Kagutsuchi's ability. So, Miss Zero charges up a couple of times. Both players now trying to regain some of their lost resources. It's been very expensive last couple of rounds, and revives from the grave. 9 the Phantom removes from, pulls the card back out of the grave, freezes the Hino Kagutsuchi, and out comes Piole and takes care of it. So that 9 the Phantom actually working out very well for Cheng Li, despite the fact that he's not the one that summoned it. Out comes a Detective Christie +1, and that's going to be awkward for Miss Zero to deal with. Drag to Hell comes out. That's going to take care of the important clue, of course, and it does take care of Christie, which is fortunate for Miss Zero. Out comes Taukaka, very, very expensive summon at level 3 for a debatable amount of worth, honestly. Taukaka is one of those cards you really want to summon at level 1 or 2. You don't want to be summoning her at 3, especially when your opponent has a Piole and can just do this. That's unfortunate. That 9 working a lot, says Minibi. Yes, indeed. Rise Trigger, hey there, man. Hello, Rise. Welcome to the stream. Out comes the Elephant. Cheng Li managing to hold on to his positions very well, thanks to that Piole and the 9 that he captured. A question, which pack should you spend your diamonds on, the Kadir one or the Blaze Blue one, Rise? Go for Blaze Blue, sorry. Blaze Blue is a limited edition pack. Once the pack is gone, those cards will never be available again. probably. They did a weird thing where they re-released them from a month ago, but generally speaking, like 99.9% of the time, the collaboration cards never come back around again. So always go for the limited edition ones. The CGC cards are going to be available forever, so pick up the Blaze Blues. Out comes another elephant on Cheng Li's side, and his elephant continues to deal a little bit of damage. That's 6, of course, thanks to S's negative side of her ability, dealing an extra 1 damage. So both players at more or less the same resources, more or less the same HP. Black Sheep Pan comes out as a block on the elephant. That Black Sheep Pan, of course, will die before the elephant does, but Miss Zero is just using it as a block because it has no grave cost. Tabitha Moore, it never seems safe to summon Golden Garden Cat, always a favorite target for the opponent. That's kind of the point of Golden Garden Cat. You can't remove it for less than its cost. So you play Golden Garden Cat, either your opponent removes it, in which case it's an even resource trade, and they've used up one of their removal spells, which is they're going to be harder for them to use on a future creature, or they don't use a removal spell, in which case, hey, free resources. Golden Garden Cat, whether it gets removed immediately or whether it hangs around, is always good value for money. It's a really good card. Joao Tavares, does anyone have Wind Clockwork? Why is everybody looking at Wind Clockwork right now? I've had like 2 or 3 people ask me about that Clockwork Reaper deck that I made over the last couple of days. It's weird. Whippy, gimmick equals 1 turn kill? Not necessarily. Depends on how it's done. I mean, if it's like, you know, Gates of Hell or something like that, then yes, it's a gimmick because it requires a dedicated counter, but otherwise, no. Blaze Blue cards, I miss out, Mog. OMG. Well, they're still on, so if you play the game, you can still get some Blaze Blue cards. The Blaze Blue event is done. No, the Blaze Blue event isn't finished yet. It's still on. So Miss Zero and Cheng Li are continuing to hammer away at each other, managing to maintain, more or less the same amount of HP. Cheng Li just really keeping those elephants on the field. Loving his elephants there. So let's see how Mist Zero decides to answer this. The Light Elephant course is Piolet bait, but Miss Zero doesn't quite have enough resources for it. Discard into gold. We're going to see a Taker. We are. Out comes the Taker. That's going to push the Light Elephant across, and then pow! A lot of damage done. Of course, that is still 8 damage going to come out from that Elephant +1. If Cheng Li has a mana Arrow of Revenge, then it's all over right now. So let's see. Rise Trigger, you need to buy fast. Yes! Buy quick, buy quick. Joao Tavares, 49, Age Mage. Yeah, okay, so you were talking about this on the Discord channel. If you're going to be using Mage 39 years old with the Wind Clockwork, you need some way of putting the Mage on your opponent's side of the field. So you need to use Sellout, or Barter, or Push to Cliff, something like that. Because if you use it on your side of the field and Wind Clockwork, it's going to kill you. Whippy, you want to battle? That's what I like to hear. So Whippy is on the list now. Good, he's on the list. Alrighty, so Elephant +1 is still out on the field. Another Kadir's Flying Sword comes out as well. And Cheng Li has one more turn. Does he decide to go defensive and charge up more resources? Or is he going to go full-on offensive, banking on the fact that Monsieur is not going to be able to answer? He's going to go full-on, well, offensive, but with a defensive slant as well by blocking the Tager. So Miss Zero in a very awkward situation now, needs to take care of all these creatures. PLA will do it. So out comes PLA, kills the elephant. Out comes PLA again, I assume? No? Really? Okay, no PLA. I'll be honest, I'm surprised by that. And out comes the hunt to take care of that. Interesting. I'm not entirely sure why Miss Zero didn't just go for a double PLA play there. Because, yeah, this is what happens. A double PLA into Hunt would have been a very good play. But whenever you have Fatal, never try to block fatal damage with a creature. It never works. You always get that creature removed or somehow. Out comes the Taki Grandi Pow, whatever the hell it is. And that was really, really close. Casanova's Mask really winning the game for Cheng Li there, managing to snag that 9, doing a lot of work against Miss Zero, which has got to hurt both, you know, emotionally and physically. But well played to both players there. Good games, well played. But yeah, that Casanova's Mask, I think MVP, right? I love that card. Such a good card, Casanova's Mask. Ridiculously powerful for its cost. Okay, next up. Up next. I tried to say next up and up next at the same time. Didn't really work out for me. Almost swallowed my own tongue. That would have been fun. Kangi and Mini B. When you guys are ready, please let me know and get to fighting us. Miss Hero, still want a creature-only battle. Well, keep asking. Maybe somebody will take you up on it. Kangi not on. Doesn't seem to be on. I mean, I know he's around, but I know that he also has a bit of like Wi-Fi trouble sometimes, so he may not turn. There he is. Yeah, he doesn't turn on Mabinogi Duel until the very end. Moth, I thought the Casanova's mask only works on creatures in the center slot. Nope. Nope. Casanova's mask is basically it's a very, very cheap capture that doesn't reduce attack value, and you don't target the enemy creature with it, you target yourself. It's a really, really good spell. I love it. Spectate. Kito Marksman, you can do it, just need to build a deck. Okay, cool. Well, let's put down Kito versus Miss Hero, and you guys can go at the very end there, and that'll give you a chance to build a creature-only deck, Kito. Okay, out comes the elephant, which is immediately countered by a surprise attack. Mini B up at the top with 3 mutants and Kangi down the bottom with 2. Moth, you're thinking of the creature, not the spell. Ah, yeah, Casanova. Yeah, Casanova, I don't remember. Because nobody uses him. Goblin Caretaker, Gravekeeper rather, not Caretaker. Gravekeeper comes out, and Kangi is excited. And this is more fun than I thought, says Mini B. Out comes a magic missile that takes care of the Goblin Gravekeeper, and because of its ability, it gains a little bit, puts a little bit of darkness into Mini B's resource pool. Oh, pardon me. Miss Zero, also Hunter only does 11 damage, and he would have used Mask on Elephant to still kill, but you could have killed both of the creatures that were on the field because they were both down at 11 or less, unless I had a stroke, but I'm pretty dang sure that both of them were within PLA range. And then you could have used Hunt on the one on the far right. Windblade Taeon comes out, takes care of G2. I can never tell whether it's G2 or whether it's a capitalized I and and it's supposed to just be Gi, because they capitalize the Blaze Blue cards for some reason. Oh man.
Chose to charge resource.
6 plus 7 plus 13. Yeah, but you even after using them, and you still had enough resources, surely. Anyway, I mean, it doesn't matter. Yeah, it's just one of those things, you know. Just whenever there's fatal damage on the board and you block it with a creature, and this goes for everybody, myself included. Whenever you block fatal damage with a creature, the creature that's blocking the fatal damage always gets removed. Every single time. Just one of those things. Matthew, I never heard it said as G2 before. You think it's Gi. It could be Gi. It could be G2. It could be anything. It's so these names are weird. Because some of the Blaze Blue cards have numbers, you know, like, and some of them have Greek letters, which is also confusing. Flame Mission comes out, takes care of the Light Elephant, and does a little bit of damage to the Taeon. The Nago does a little bit of damage itself to Kangi, and there's the Taeon in front of Nago. So Kangi can basically ignore that Nago now. The Taeon's just going to take care of that, but he decides to remove it with the Command Hunting. Interesting, he wants the damage to go off immediately and decides to level up. And deals 6 damage to Mini B. Mini B currently unable, unfortunately for him, to get the cards out. The Ritual Grim Reaper comes out. That's going to take care of Amanza, and that is going to summon all of these creatures back out onto the field. Yay for creatures. Sigant, hey Ark, kindly sign me up for my first ever sub battle. Will do. Sigant, you can fight Whippy. That'll be nice. That's always fun. I'm not being sarcastic, it is. Cheng, it's Gi, according to Chinese translation. Okay, it's Gi. I will call it Gi from now on. Every time I see a capital I, I just go Roman numerals. So that is Mini B side of the field entirely flooded now, and it is Kangi's turn. Let's see what he does about it. Now Mini B, of course, fairly low on HP at the moment with 12. Windblade Taeon, of course, not within fatal range, but... chose
to charge resource.
But... can still do like half the damage. So let's see. Kangi decides to charge up. Fortunately, it goes into nature and he pioles. He's not going to be able to do that again. No, he is. Okay, there we go. And down goes another creature. And Taeon deals a little bit of damage to Nago. But that will now die to... excellent. Isn't Blaze Blue Japanese? I have no idea. Matteo, Teon Master Race. Well, he's dead now, so... Matteo is Gi in the USA version too. Okay. PLA comes out, takes care of the Nago, goes back into the thing, a little bit of damage goes out across the board. Missing, it shouts. Oh. PLA comes out again, takes care of another one of those guys, pops back in, blah 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 bang, so it goes, so it goes. And PLA comes out again, blah blah blah, blah blah bang, blah blah bang, PLA, PLA, PLA. This thing about PLA is grave cost doesn't increase. This is why I was saying PLA and Hunt would have been good in the last match, but... PLA, the man of just infinite uses, just PLA. The guy, if any creature has 11 or less HP, they're just immediately dead for no cost. It's a weird card. Fireball comes out, that's going to weaken Alucard. Guess what's coming next? I'll give you a clue. It rhymes with PLA. And down he goes. And down goes that poor Alucard. Oh, it's a shame. Out comes the elf. That does at least take PLA out of usage range, but yeah. Mini B's turn. Let's see if he can. Let's see what we can do here. He could bring out another Ramanza, but it wouldn't really help because he's got nothing left in the grave. So it's unfortunate. PLA, Plole. An elephant comes out to block the elf. Of course, the elephant will die beforehand, so it's still unfortunate. You're going to write something, but you pressed enter. Yeah. Out comes Command Hunting, takes care of the elephant, and that is going to be the finishing blow landed by the elf. Close game, though. Surprisingly close. Kangi down at 10 HP there, and yeah. I mean, he'd be doing well. If not for that PLA, but hey, you know, always got to assume the PLA in this day and age. Down it goes. Okay. Good stuff. Alright. Alright, well played to both players there, and congratulations to Kangi. Damn PLA, says Mini B, and yes, I think a lot of players agree with that sentiment. Next up is Enamata versus Moth. When you guys are ready, please let me know in the chat, and then send each other battle requests. Alucard, no! I know, twice. Yeah, such a shame. Basically, running Alucard, gotta run, like, Free Summon or a Cocoon Trap or something as well. Unfortunately, those little creatures of hers are just too vulnerable. Seems holding pretty well the deck. Oh. Amata is Riven Steel, yes. Amata is Riven Steel. Riven Steel. Steel that has been rivened. Okay, so yeah, both players online. I'll just keep refreshing and wait for the transition. The damn PLA, yes. Yeah. Still hate the trap more. Which trap? There's a lot of them. Goating it up. Alright. Let's get ready to go. Haven't played the game in like a month now. Everything is so confusing for you. That's a shame. Sloth Lord up at the top with no mutants, and Riven Steel down at the bottom with 2 mutants. Riven Steel opens with an aggressive Kadir's Flying Sword. Does Sloth have a paralyzing bullet? He does, and down it goes. Miniby, Trap in the Castle. Trap in the Castle annoys you more than PLA. A highly strategic, easy to counter card bothers you more than a free 11 damage removal. Okay. Wait a second, what if Riven was steeled? Okay, Elephant Light Elephant rather comes out, and Caduceus Flying Sword comes out to block a Paralyzing Bullet. Comes out from Riven Steel and takes care of the Caduceus Flying Sword. Everyone's running Paralyzing Bullet. Why wouldn't you? And that's 3 damage, of course, onto Sloth. Sloth chooses to level up rather than to spend any time dealing with that elephant. And takes a little bit of damage, but still doing well for HP. So both players doing well for resources and HP. Golden Bomb Squad comes out in front of the elephant. Trying the best possible counter at this point, because of course you hope that the Golden Bomb Squad will stay alive, but if not, at least it takes the elephant out with it. Smiley faces. Always nice to see happy people. Golden Garden Cat comes out. Sloth does, of course, have enough mana to remove that, but and you could also use a flame mission to put the elephant within KO range of the Golden Bomb Squad, but let's see what he decides to go with. Riven Steel charges up and it goes into mana. He's got a lot of that now. He probably was hoping that it would go into light, but if the Golden Garden Cat survives, that's going to help. Nope, out comes the Flame Mission, takes care of the Golden Garden Cat, injures the elephant enough for the Golden Bomb Squad to deal the fatal damage to it, as predicted. Excellent. Brown, hey Ark, just a quick hi from my end. Well, here's a quick hi right back, Brown. Nice to see you hanging around. And thanks for the gifts earlier. Okay, Holy Missile comes out, takes care of that little creature, and Riven Steel decides to charge rather than playing any aggressive creatures. Wants to play a more reactive game, it seems, so putting the ball in Sloth's court. Sloth decides to charge up and level up. Riven Steel charges up himself, gains the gold, and levels up as well. Riven Steel, what is that, slightly leading in terms of resources? No, actually about the same. So about the same resources, about the same HP. Sloth decides to go a bit aggressive, drops a nice cheap skeleton down just to see what Riven Steel's going to do. Kangi, I'm going to go watch my match. Okay. Alright, let's see what Riven Steel decides to do. He does have a Holy Missile, of course. May decide that it's not worth using it at this point. May choose to block it with block the skeleton with something, and does blocks it with an Undine, which is an interesting choice. And charges up, which does 3 damage to the skeleton. Will he charge up again? Do another 3. Put it down within KO range. He does. Okay, so the skeleton is now within KO range of Undine Akora. Sloth performs a couple of charges. Will he take care of the Akora, or is he just going to let the skeleton die? Not too bad, he says. And snags with the Casanova's mask. There we go. Okay, Undine now on Sloth's side. Down it goes. Alright, so that 8 damage did manage to get off onto Riven Steel, and that is pretty painful to have to deal with. Let's see if Riven Steel can answer this. A betrayal to snag the Akora back onto his side of the field. Now it'll be interesting to see how this works, because normally it's after it attacks, but the Akora is not going to attack for a very long time. So while Riven Steel is not getting any offensive benefit from having Undine on the field, he is getting a lot of control benefit because of the freeze. Out comes an Arrow of Revenge because Riven Steel had 6 cards in his grave, which of course causes the Arrow of Revenge to do 6 damage. So let's see what Sloth decides to do for his next, and he doesn't need to worry about the Undine. The Undine's paralyzed for 6 turns, I think. Let's see. Moth, it's not after the creature's attack, it's after the creature's turn. It's after the creature's... Well, no, because if you betray a creature that has summoning sickness so that it doesn't attack, it actually stays on your field until it attacks and then it goes back across. So... I mean, I'm not sure exactly how it's programmed, but the way the betrayal always worked, sort of practically speaking, was that it wasn't until the attack activated that the betrayed creature would go back. So, Card Appraiser comes out and is snagged by the Undine Akora, but that's okay. Casanova's Mask comes out and grabs the Golden Garden Cat. So, Riven Steel kind of needs to deal with that. Does have the resources to do it without too much difficulty, which he does. Fireball comes out, takes care of the Golden Garden Cat. And now what? The Holy Missile to take care of the Card Appraiser. So, Riven Steel playing a bit of a defensive game right now, just trying to hold Moth off until the Akora thing is going to be really, really interesting. When it attacks, if it goes back to Sloth's side or not, because it started
Your turn.
on Rivensteel's side. So it'll be interesting to see what the programming thinks about which side Undine should be on.
Resource.
Yes, I mean, that's why we all need Light Card Appraiser, yes. Daniel, will I be able to battle? Yes, absolutely. I'll write it down. You seem to be right, the Akora is saying, yeah, because that's the way Betrayal has always worked. It's always... I don't know if that's what the programming dictates or whether that's just the practical outcome of it, but Betrayal won't send a creature back to the other side of the field until after the attack goes off. So it's interesting. It's very, very interesting how this how the coding actually works here. My Natsume comes out, is of course going to be frozen. Please forget about it. It was just a bad dream. Is this your soul? Oh god, that's a bit grim, isn't it? So the My Natsume comes back out. It didn't attack, it won't be back. Yeah. Well, what is that? I wish the paralysis number would increase when you blew up the card. It looks like it's 3, but it's really difficult to tell. Betrayal comes out, grabs my Natsume. Basically, Rivensteel is just doing very little damage with his own creatures right now. He's just stealing everything. The Kadir's Flying Sword, though, is going to do some nice damage. Program Kun says server 404, error not found. Error 404. I don't know what's happening. Skynet disabled. Okay, Goblin Bomb Squad comes out in front of the Kadir's Flying Sword against Frozen, but it doesn't really matter. There's no downside to it getting frozen at the moment. And this is fun. Mask versus Betrayal, yeah. Yeah. It works as well, because, you know, if you're going to betray someone, you wear a mask while you're doing it, right? Unless you're Brutus and his buddies, in which case you just gather a group of friends together and just stab Caesar like 18 times or however many it was. A lot of times. My Natsume kills the Goblin Bomb Squad. Goblin Bomb Squad effect kills the Kadir's Flying Sword. That Undine Akora has one more turn, and it will be really, really interesting to see whether it goes back to Sloth after it attacks or not. I mean, we may not even actually get to see that, unfortunately. The My Natsume is going to deal 7 damage now, taking Sloth down to 10. So depending on what Rivensteel does... Well, actually, the Mai is going to go back, isn't it? Because it's been betrayed. So it's going to go back to Sloth's hand. Right, okay. And then it deals damage to the elephant. Mask and Betrayal makes it really confusing to commentate these. It's very difficult to remember whose card was whose at the beginning of the fight. Okay, Sloth really needs to answer that elephant and the Undine. The elephant, of course, would be easier to answer, but another one of the best. Good thinking. Or just stab from the back. Nobody will know. Well, in case somebody is watching, you wear a mask, and then they'll go, I don't know who it was, because I couldn't see his eyes. I mean, if it worked for Superman, it should work for somebody stabbing another person, right? I mean, not that witnesses are reliable anyway. Arrow of Revenge comes out. Ooh, that's going to put Rivensteel within KO range of my Natsume, and boom, boom goes the dynamite. That's congratulations, Sloth, but I'm almost a little bit disappointed because I really wanted to see what was going to happen to that Undine. I really wanted to see if it was going to go back over to his side of the field or whether it would stay on its original summoned side. That could have been interesting. But nevertheless, congratulations to Moth on the victory. Well done. Okay, Kangi, let me know when you're up again. You're up again now, actually. It's you versus Kito Marksman right now. Rise Trigger, Betrayal deck consisting of 2 different resources of Betrayal while adding the 2 variants of Capture, yeah. Basically just have what was it, Betrayal and Dark Betrayal, Capture, Dark Capture, Casanova's Mask. Just make it a whole thing of just capturing stuff. Tibors, you're watching Silent trying to copy best deck to win next tournament. None of these decks are tournament viable, I don't think. We have to run a proper test, yes. No, stealing your opponent's cards would annoy him. Oh yes, oh yes. Miniby, you want to go a game, but you're unsure if you can even play. Well, we'll write you down because nobody's up against Daniel yet, so I'll write you down. And if you're around when your turn rolls over, then great. And if not, then no big deal. Okay, so Kangi versus Kito Marksman, then is Whippy versus Sigant, then Daniel versus Miniby, and then Kirito versus Mist Zero, which is going to be a creature-only battle. A gift from Reiki. Thank you very much, Reiki, if you're watching. I really appreciate it. That's going to go towards cards, which go towards videos. Alright, so it's Kangi versus Kirito Marksman. Right, Trigger Troll deck. Do try and... It wouldn't work, unfortunately, because the resource difference would be far too big. No. Moth, you're going to be hanging around making some food and stuff while you watch. Okay. Sounds like a plan. We'll just wait for the transition to occur. Okay. Kito Marksman, yes, he's Kangi 08. He's up at the top of the friends list there. And Kangi Kito Marksman is the one that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 from the top. Kito Marks M. And Whippy Sigant would like to know your in-game name. If anyone can pull it off, it would be Gunter. I appreciate the vote of confidence, but no, probably not. Probably not. If anybody could pull it off, it's probably Whippy. That kind of weird deck is more his forte than mine. Your weekly challenge just refreshed again, did it, Miniby? Good. Well, I mean, it is Sunday today, so maybe it counts as a new week. Ready for a creature-only deck? Who's your opponent again? Your opponent is Kito Marksman, the guy who's actually fighting right now against Kangi. So yeah, you can see his name third from the top, Miss Zero, Kito Marks M. Yeah, Kito Marksman says you're offline. Yeah, unless both of you are on each other's friends list, then you're gonna both appear offline. Kalpesh, he can't add you again. You're already on his friends list. You have to add him, Kangi. Enamata, time for you to go hit the sack. Good night. All right, you go beat up that sack. Sounds rude. I apologize. But yes, Kangi, you need to add Kito Marksman because Kito already has you on his friends list. You're the one that's missing him. So you have to add him. It's Kito Marksman. I've told you this already, Kangi. Fourth from the top, Kito Marksman. This guy, third from the top now. This guy here. Kito Marks M. Kiritomarksm. Yes, sweet dreams, Enamata, sweet dreams. Or spicy ones. Whatever flavor you prefer. You can delete and re-add Miss Zero. You can, but there's really no point. It's much, much easier if Kangi just adds. If Kangi sends a friend request, then it's immediately accepted, so. Much, much easier than deleting, re-adding, Kangi receiving, Kangi accepting, blah, 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 blah. If this takes much longer, we'll just skip past it onto the next fight. This is why you guys need to add yourselves beforehand. So Whippy and Sigant, please add each other. Daniel and Miniby, please add each other. Kirito and Mist Zero, please add each other. Otherwise we're just sitting here for hours. Miss Zero, you need to play Mabi again, but lazy, you hate grinding. You mean Mabinogi Duel or actual Mabinogi, the MMO? Yes, Miniby says add him, Daniel. So his name is, the in-game name is actually Miniby. You can see it down at the bottom of the friends list there. M-I-N-I-B-E-E, Miniby. So Daniel, please add him. And Kangi and Kirito, for God's sake. You still don't know Whippy's IGN. Whippy's IGN is W5WL. It is, let's see, right up at the top there. W5WL, Sigant. Kalpesh is showing you wrong name. It's really not that difficult. It's just Kirito Marksman. Just Kirito marks him. It's right there, right up at the top. Just copy it and add it. Mabinogi Online, okay. And you're back at it again with the wave hands, okay. Alright, I'm gonna give Kangi like another 60 seconds and then we're skipping past because this is getting a bit stupid. Just add him! Add him! What is my drink? Din Tan Hung, I don't know how to pronounce your name, I apologize. My drink is my special arc juice. It is the source of all my powers, and its ingredients are closely guarded secrets. Monsieur, the Twitch comment went too fast. Was someone calling you? Yes, Miniby said, play with him and Reiki and Dragon in Mabinogi Online. Alright, this is taking way too long. I don't know why Kangi's having difficulty with this, but we're going to skip past it. Next up is Whippy versus Sigant. So, Whippy and Sigant. Are you guys ready? Please tell me you are. And then we will get into and then send each other a fight. Kangi, fast mate, says Rise. Nope, it's too late. Took way too long to do something that's incredibly simple. So, we're skipping past. We'll come back to it. I do not know what the issue is. We'll come back to it. What server do they play on? You play on Tralach. So Mist plays on Tralach, Minibeam. So what server do you guys play on? He wants to know. Pronunciation is funny. Yes. Calpesh, you're sorry? Yes, maybe. You're slow is what you are, Calpesh. You're slow. Do better. You ready? Good. Excellent. My drink looks like that one card in Mabinogi that heals you. Yes, Potion of Full Restoration. Yes. Yes. I've been considering making a deck with Potion of Full Restoration in it just because of that. So Sigant thing is ready, which is good. Send Whippy an invite, a battle request rather. Sorry. And we'll see if he's ready to roll. He's online. Just not sure if he's ready to fight. Names keep moving around. It always makes me think, oh good, transitioning's happening, and then it's just not. It's, the name has just changed position for some reason. Requested. Good. Apparently not accepted though. Please wait 10 seconds. Okay, that's fine. Good. Well, at least you're both around. You both have each other added to your friends list. Nice guys finish last, but slow guys never make it to the finish line. Bad guys don't even bother racing. You may have to go after Whippy's fight, Moth. Okay. You're not actually on any more fights, so okay. Miniby says, Mist. We all play on Alexina. Reiki, him, and Yellow Dragon. Alright, so Whippy and Sigant, whenever you guys are ready, please fight. Fight for our amusement. Ave Arc. Te moriturum salutat. Okay, yes, good. Transitioning is occurring. Excellent. Arcadean look as Beastkin as he can transfer to Tarlac Bead. I'm not entirely sure what that means, but okay. Alright, in we go. In we go. Alright, so Sigant with S and up at the top with one mutant rather, and Whippy down the bottom with S and 3 mutants. Monsieur says, sorry, but I don't want to lose all my pets. Kalpesh, I didn't get a request from you, Kirito. Kalpesh, he will not send you a request. Kalpesh, you send him a request. Okay, Golden Garden Cat comes out, is immediately murdered by a dark firebolt, which seems just really mean to that poor kitty cat. Plus costs money to make a new character, does it? Moth, today's your last chance to get your Overwatch rank to a decent place before the season ends. Good luck with that. Light Elf comes out from Sigant and is immediately hunted. Okay, so firebolts and hunts. Whippy playing what looks like a very control-based deck. This might be his one-hit KO thing that he was talking about. Gladiators fighting in the Colosseum. Aye, Ave. This, by the way, does not mean kill him. This means kill him. This means they live. So we're all using thumbs up and thumbs down wrong, apparently. Anyone got Ninja Hikaru Gold? Asked Miniby. Cheap, not Leaf Ninja Hikaru, but Ninja Hikaru. Okay. Alright, Sigant revives from the grave, which is always a bit risky to do at level 2, but it's you know, his HP is more or less even. Brings out the Golden Garden Cat again, seeing if he can bait out more removals from a Whippy. Okay, so Kito Marksman has removed Kalpesh from the friends list and sending the invite again. I'm trying, but he keeps saying there's nobody named Kito Marksman. Kalpesh. For the 10th time. His in-game name is not Kirito Marksman. I showed you his name on the screen. It's Kirito Marks M. Not man, just M. Okay, Whippy charges up and reaches level 3. Miss Zero, worst trade you did lately. Traded Urgent Arrest for Hunter, Pule, and Golden Garden Cat. Ooh. Yeah, not a great trade. Not a great trade. Okay, Whippy revives from the grave. Arca got triggered, maybe. Can you let me know spelling? He literally wrote it in the chat, Kalpesh. Literally wrote it just now in the chat. I'm not talking to you anymore. Freaking me out. Okay. What's this? The Altered Zombie Epimetheus deals 5 damage to random opponent whenever a zombie creature dies. When no opponent creature deals damage to the hero. Sends one soul card from the hand to the grave and resurrects whenever it goes down. So this should be quite interesting. Elf comes out in front of the Epimetheus. Let's see. And that Epimetheus is actually kind of bulky. Look at that. Command Hunting comes out and does manage to take care of the Epimetheus, but it resurrects itself by discarding and then deals 5 damage to the elf because it's a zombie and it died, so it triggers its own ability. Kalpesh, done. You're ready for next turn. Thank goodness. Okay, excellent. Elf comes out again. One doesn't come out again, but yeah, Sigant rather revives from the grave. Whippy cast Hunt takes care of that. The 9 damage comes out. Apocalypse Zombie comes out. And Ritual of Darkness to take care of the Apocalypse Zombie deals a little bit of damage. The Epimetheus deals damage. Oh no, it's going to start cycling, isn't it? Oh, that's painful. And boom. Ouch. 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 Not even a gimmick deck, honestly. I mean, that doesn't even count as gimmick. So, congratulations to Whippy for using Epimetheus to trigger off an Apocalypse Zombie. Very nice. Very nice. Right, Arcadean, you're triggered. Yes, triggered everywhere. That was real. That was Whippy at it again with the amazing comments. That was absolutely bizarre. Congratulations to Whippy and well played to Sigant. That's just how it goes. Kalpesh, sorry, it's hard for you because you're on your mobile, you're watching and playing with a mobile. No problem, Kalpesh, don't worry about it. Okay, so you're up next, Kangi and Kirito Marksman. So just write something in chat. Samurai Quack will be taking over my commentating duties. Write in chat, letting me know you're ready, and then send each other a battle request. Thank you, Samurai Quack. You're much better at this than I am. Okay. Where are we? The HP dropped so fast. Yeah, just pow, 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 pow. Looks like... What's happening? Nothing's happening. Okay. Ceremo, can you sign up for another fight? You can. I'm going to have to get another bit of paper. So you sign up for another fight, but I'm not sure if you'll get another opponent. We'll have to see. Never seen that before, Sigant. Yeah, no, I know most. Generally, you don't see Whippy's combos coming.
Magicians and summoners, the duel.
Okay, Miniby, you'll pass on the next one you're in. That's Daniel versus you. Okay, so actually we'll switch that then to Daniel versus Ceremo. So Daniel and Ceremo, please add each other as friends. Alright, Kirito Marksman up at the top with 0 mutants and the S hero. Kengi down the bottom with 2 mutants and the L hero, of course. Opens with an aggressive elf, which Kirito Marksman blocks with a Kadir's Flying Sword, which is immediately killed by a magic missile. Elf deals 3 damage to Kirito Marksman thanks to S's negative ability. And it's Kirito Marksman's turn. He goes for an interesting, a Pirate Red Eye, which of course drains the elf's attack value. Very nice. No real point in putting Pirate Red Eye in front of the elf. You know that its attack value is going to go down to 0, so much better generally to put the Pirate Red Eye somewhere else. Moth, I guess you should get going. If you win 2 to 3 games in a row, you'll reach your goal, but it'll probably be more like 10 to 15 games. Oh, you never know. Rise, they say there was a man named the Legend 27. He just did a really epic combo with Mabinogi Duel just now on Arcadean stream. Okay. Use 70% of them due to teams getting toxic with each other. Oh, I see what you mean. Right, the for the Overwatch thing. Good luck. Good luck. Rise would like Whippy to teach. Yes, everybody wants Whippy to teach them. That's a big field flood there from Kangi. That's going to be painful. There's 10 damage going to come out onto Kito Marksman now, but he had to level up. No real choice in the matter. Mateo would like to know your IGN, Daniel. So if you're around, please let him know. And it is Kangi's turn. Let's see what he decides to do. Brings out a Piole, because of course. And down goes that poor pirate red eye. Missing! Cries the chat thing. Rise apparently fuels you so hard, Moth. Minibio, we're gonna have Arc versus the World. Not in this live stream. Again, I'm trying to think up like a decent format for that. The problem is if it's just me, then it's just gonna be me with like 1 or 2 decks. And that's not interesting for like 2 hours. Out comes Hunt, and down goes the Gadir's Flying Sword. Faith in Victory is the most underestimated 1-cost spell. It's a good spell, absolutely. Yeah. Hashtag random comment. Good. Okay, now comes the elf in front of the elephant, immediately removed by a firebolt, and the elephant deals 5 damage thanks to a sting. Okay, so Kito Marksman a bit on the ropes here, but a good amount of resources, so he can still answer this threat. Let's see how it goes. Minibi, ew, Piole again. Yes, ew, Piole. Yeah. I mean, it's one of those things. If you're running nature these days, you pretty much have to run Piole. I mean, an 11 damage free removal spell is just too good. Just too good. Kito Marksman revives from the grave, hurting himself and dealing a little bit of damage to Kangi, but not that much. Let's see what he's deciding to go for. He's lagging behind a little bit in experience, so he really does need to land a killing blow on the elephant now. Ideally to prevent any further damage and to get himself up to level 2 all in one fell swoop. So let's see if he can manage that. With 6 gold and 6 mana, you would think so. But if he had a firebolt, you have to assume that he would have used it. Paralyzing bullet. So no firebolt, he's going to go for a delay tactic. Unfortunately, because it didn't remove the elephant, it still doesn't give him enough resources to level up. Sigant, you can take Minibi's place. Ceremo has taken Minibi's place. It's a must, says Rise, yes. PLA is just a must, really, in nature decks. If you're running light, you pretty much have to run Golden Garden Cat. If you're running nature, you pretty much have to run Piole. If you're not running those 2 cards, then generally, I mean, there has to be like a really good reason for it. Wow, okay, a Casanova's Mask, very, very lucky pull there. 25% chance that Kadir's Flying Sword would have ended up in front of the elephant, and it did. Surprise attack comes out to take care of the Yayoi, which does a little bit of damage to the elephant, but not enough for the Kadir's Flying Sword to land a finishing blow. Matteo, who are you fighting against again? You're fighting against Daniel. But I don't think he's commented. He may not be around. And Kito Marksman and Miss Zero, you guys are still up for a creature-only fight. So make sure that you both have those creature-only decks ready. Elf comes out on Kengi's side of the field. It's Kito Marksman's turn. He had to level up because, of course. That is, what, 9, 10, 11? That's 11 damage on Kangi's side of the field if he can remove the Kadir's Flying Sword, and you have to assume that he can with 6 nature resources and 5 into the light. Magnum Opus. Okay, so Daniel, Magnum Opus. Not Minibi, it's Ceremo. Minibi's had to go. Miss Zero, there's a poll over at Neo Waifu Hell for Waifu of the Month. Anyone want to do a raid and make Lady Share Waifu of the Month? That would be fantastic, but I think in this group, you're probably going to find more people wanting to vote now in. Ceremo, link you. Okay. Yes, it's Magnum Opus. Okay. So, Kito Marksman's turn. He brings a summons an elf in front of the elf. but he's within fatal damage of either one of those two creatures, and again, you just really ideally don't want to be blocking fatal damage with a creature, especially when Kangi has more than enough resources for a command hunting or a surprise attack, something else is going to or a firebolt. I mean, he's got more than enough resources in all three camps now that he can cast whatever he likes. Out comes Linker Elvenkier, which is interesting choice. Not necessary, but I think Kangi just wanted to show that he had it. Yeah, not necessary, because there's the command hunting and the Elful and the finishing blow. Is Immortal Samurai, how do you acquire the S hero? You have to purchase 40... I think it's 40 Blaze Blue cards. I think? No. Is it 40 Blaze Blue packs? I will double check. I will double check for you. Congratulations to Kangi. Well played to Kito to Marksman there. Well fought on both sides. But hey, that Piole, right? That Piole. Hello, Gallium. Welcome, welcome. I'm just going to very quickly look this up. S hero. No, it's acquire 120 Blaze Blue season cards. That's how you do it. 120 Blaze Blue cards. Yes. All right. Next up, I'm just going to scratch that off. Next up is Magnum Opus versus Ceremo. When you guys are ready, please let me know, and we will make a start. Well played, you really need a PLA. Yo. If anybody doesn't have a PLA yet, get it, because you need it. Yeah, just do. Sigant, you can go for another sub-battle. I'll write you down. I'm not sure if anybody else is going to be up for one. We've had a lot of fights so far today. Let's see. What happened with the background? Yeah, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing a green screen today. It's easier for me actually not to do a green screen, and I kind of prefer it. Magnum Opus is his IGN. Yes, Magnum Opus is his IGN. Who's Zembo? I don't know. Kangi, you're up for next. Okay, well you can fight Siganteng. Alright, so it's going to go Magnum Opus versus Ceremo now. Then it's going to be Kirito Marksman versus Miss Zero, creature only fight. And then it's going to be Siganteng versus Kangi. Okay. Alrighty, what are we doing? Now, I should have both of you guys added on my friends list, but apparently I don't. So actually, I have no reason, I have no information why I don't have like Ceremo, so I'm just going to quickly add. So there's nobody named Magnum Opus. Is the O a 0 or is it an actual O? How are you spelling it? I'm pretty sure I have Magnum Opus on mine, but I'm not 100% sure. I should have Ceremo anyway, so I'm just going to add you, Ceremo. Oh, Magnum Opus, not Magnus Opus. Yeah, there we go. Miss, you requested friendly duel. No, missed, but congratulations for getting on the stream. Okay, good. Your new friend, Ceremo. Okay. Yeah, I am so sure that I had you on my friends list. I mean, did you stop playing for like a week? I may have done that. Noob requested a friend. No, noob. No friendly duel, but congratulations for getting on the stream. This is going to become a thing now, is it? Okay, here we go. Alright, Magnum Opus up at the top with the Izanami Hero and 2 mutants. Ceremo down the bottom with the Izanami Hero and 1 mutant. Can you spam that, maybe? Sure, why not? Paralyzing Bullet comes out, take care of the Kadir's Flying Sword. You cannot avoid death, says Ceremo. Out comes another Kadir's Flying Sword, a double Kadir's Flying Sword. Lagasp, is that enough, says Magnum Opus. Both players shit-talking like pros here. Magic Missile comes out, takes care of the Kadir's Flying Sword, so apparently it wasn't enough. No. And out comes a third Kadir's Flying Sword. You cannot avoid death, cries Magnum Opus. Kalpish, you want to be in the stream? Should you send a request? Sure, everyone send a request so you can all get famous. Ceremo decides to level up, not dealing with any more of these Kadir's Flying Swords, and Magnum Opus follows suit and deals a little bit of damage. Maybe get ready for her. Masrock, what do you do with a nice blue background? I don't have a nice blue background. I use a green screen. See? Ah! Let me pull it down top of myself. Let's all spam me. Hooray! Okay, Ceremo summoned Agita, which is pretty cool. So Agita's thing, for those who don't, if the enemy in front tries to attack and there are friendly creatures on the battlefield, he will switch places with a random friendly creature. which is fun, but there's another Kadir's Flying Sword. How? Is that the 4th Flying Sword? What's happening here? This is terrifying. Miss, your link is up in the Discord. You're an admin for the group, so you try to add instantly so you can get Lady Share to win. Okie dokie. Fair enough. For anyone who's interested in the link to the Discord chat, I will link it now. That's the Discord, by the way. So no green screen for today. No. Outcomes. What is happening here? Golden Gravekeeper. So yes, basically the Goblin Gravekeeper, but the Golden Gravekeeper. Magnum Opus discards into mana. So let's see what happens. And brings out Master Templar Materio. Hence all the swords. There we go. This is going to be extraordinarily painful for Ceremo. One of these swords is going bye-bye, and then Ceremo's entire field is going bye-bye. So pow and pow. Down they go. Master Templar Materio, ladies and gentlemen. Very painful card to go up against. Both players, your deaths cannot pay for your sins. Deaths, plural, apparently. Outcomes of Empire Cat hit with a frozen creature spell, so that's a little bit unfortunate. And Heavy Offering comes out, but is hit with a counter spell. Ouch. No resources on Magnum Opus' side now, though, and Ceremo does have 10. So, Magnum Opus really needs to make this count immediately. Decides to discard into light and then charges up. Okay, so Materio is going to kill one of these swords. Boom, 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 boom. It's a little bit unfortunate for Magnum Opus that he keeps killing the one that's not in the middle. Because he can't resummon another sword until he kills the one that's in the middle of the field. So this is decreasing Magnum Opus's offensive potential. But, let's see. So Ceremo has enough for a flame mission, but decides not to go for it. So he's going to take this 14 damage, which is pretty brutal. He's going to go down to 6 HP. Gallimir, oh my gee, that Materio deck is really a thing. Yeah, apparently it is. A discard into mana, so we assume another counterspell in there. Miss, don't let Arc fool you, still has a green screen up. He's just using an average looking room to humble himself. He lives in a card game mansion. Mansion? Pfft, castle, you peasant. Oh, and my dog wants in. Hold on. Okay, so someone's going to pull out something pretty good here. Arcade. Welcome. Okay, brings out Skeleton Blazon, which is pretty good. Alright, oh, come here, puppy. Oh, okay. Come on. Stop fighting me. Stop fighting me. Arcade, ladies and gentlemen. And Samurai Quack, so I got all my animals together. Out comes a Pirate Red Eye. Interesting, interesting. Okay, you can go down now. Oh, good boy. And a Holy Stake. Good lord, that is interesting. Oh, very well played there by Magnum Opus. The Holy Stake disappears. The thing, a little white slap -1. You cannot avoid death, he cries. Charges up, does a little bit of damage to the Pirate Red Eye. And Master Templar Materio manages to land the finishing blow. Congratulations to Magnum Opus, managing to make a Master Templar Materio deck work with 2 resources. Congratulations. Heaven Hondo. Good game, good game. Alright, very well played on both player sides there. Excellent. Alright, next up is Kito versus Mist Zero. This is going to be a creature-only fight. Is it a boy or a girl? It's a boy. It's a boy. Where are you? There you are. I don't... The chair I'm in is a little bit heavy and I don't want to run over him. But it's fine. Yes, he's a boy dog. Scottish Border Terrier, I'm pretty sure. Alright, so yes, Kirito Marksman versus Mist Zero. Creature-only deck. When you guys are ready, let me know in chat and then send each other battle requests. Oh, there it is. Mini B. No, but congratulations for getting on the stream. Alright, looks like the transition is occurring. There we go. He's so cute. He is. He's adorable. Thick as a brick, but adorable. Okay, Kirito Marksman up at the top with the S hero, no mutants. Miss Zero down at the bottom with the S hero, no mutants. Interesting, interesting. Okay. Both players using exactly the same resources as well. Gold, nature, and light. Discard by Miss Zero, so we assume Ambush Vine. No real reason to make it a hidden spider because there are no spells. Cocoon Trap, of course, counts as a spell. Mist counts as a spell, so really has got to be Ambush Vine, and there it is. So the Ambush Vine comes out from Kirito Marksman, paralyzes the Taukaka, and then the other Taukaka appears. Kangi, you're against Sigant. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Out comes Lychee, which is snagged by the ambush vine. That's not really going to affect her in any way. Down goes one of the Taukakas, and down goes the other ambush vine. An excellent counter there to ambush vine. Very nicely played there by Kito Marksman. Missed Zero's turn. He's facing off against a lot of damage there. Brings out the Golden Garden Cat, and Taukaka gets 4 damage off. Tipo wants to see Magnum Opus versus Kangi. Okay. Kito Marksman levels up to 2, and the ambush vine does 3 damage to Miss Zero. The Golden Garden Cat, of course, surviving, so puts a little bit of resources into Miss Zero's bank, and he levels up as well, and the Taukaka does some damage. So, let's see what Kito Marksman does now. Ragnar the Blood Edge comes out. Interesting choice. Out comes the ambush vine once again. Not really a big deal for Ragnar. He can take that quite well with his health draining abilities. And Pirate Domingo comes out, which is very interesting. 3 damage comes out from the ambush vine. Now Golden Garden Cat's still alive, which is unfortunate for Kito Marksman, but working out very nicely for Miss Zero. Let's see. Kengi's willing to go up against Magnum Opus. Well, let's see if Magnum Opus is willing to do it as well. Miss Zero charges up and it goes into nature. A little bit of damage out from the Golden Garden Cat, a little bit of damage out from the Taukaka. So it goes, so it goes. Ragnar the Blood Edge's ability activates, drains some HP. Out comes Susano, and that is going to cause a lot of problems for Miss Zero. Domingo takes care of that. The ambush vine deals a little bit more damage. Ragnar the Blood Edge drains some HP. Susano kills everybody. Such is the might of Susano. Tiboa, Magnum Opus, sorry I ever run in friendly match, but you sever beat me fast. My IGN is noob, we fight many times, I never beat you. And now comes a Susano on Miss Zero's side, and that is also going to do a significant amount of damage to Kito Marksman. Bingo, bango, bongo. Down, down, down. He's level 23 and 10th Dan. Yeah. Works hard. Kito Marksman's turn. Both players now ready to level up. Both more or less the same amount of resources and the same amount of HP. Kito Marksman levels up, brings out Tsubaki. Is he going to bring it out? Yes, in front of the Susano. And Susano hits in. Tsubaki gets a little bit more energy, and Susano's ability activates and does some damage to Susano. Out comes Tager, that's going to push Susano out of the ability, deal a little bit of damage, which is going to put him, I think, just within range. Yes, just within range of Susano's kill. Nicely calculated there by Miss Zero, and down goes Susano. Tsubaki, rather, dealing a little bit of damage, enough to take care of that Susano, actually, which is great. Let's see, a revive from the grave, which is, you know, always a little bit dangerous when you're low on health, but he's still got more than Miss Zero. He's about to kill the Susano. If he can take care of this Tager, then it's not a problem. So Miss Zero's got to be hoping that he can't really deal with the Tager right now. Let's see. Elf comes out. It's going to block the Tager. Okay. Yeah, it's safe enough given that there's no spells in this game. And down goes the Susano. And Tsubaki continues to generate her HP. This is going to be problematic for Miss Zero the longer he lets Tsubaki live. Charges up a couple once, discards into light, brings out Hakumen. Interesting. So Hakumen obviously with the ability to disable abilities whenever it gets, and obviously deals a little bit of damage whenever it gets struck. So a nice little counter to Tsubaki there. That is going to mean that Tsubaki will definitely die to Hakumen, and the elf is going to die to that Tager. So Kito Marksman's in an awkward situation here. Miss Zero can't deal any direct damage to him on his turn, but he will be able to wipe the field clean. A discard into light now, another discard into light, and what are we going to see? A Materio? I'm not sure. Apparently Kito Marksman's not sure either. Oh, there it is. It's a Ragnar the Blood Edge. Okay, so risky move here. Discarding 2 cards just to bring out Ragnar the Blood Edge, which of course doesn't give you any direct stuff. Hakumen's ability activates, kills the Tsubaki, and now there's a clean field for Miss Zero. So that's going to do 9 damage. And of course the Taker is going to kill the elf thanks to S's ability. Miss Zero decides to charge. Charges again. Okay. Is he going to try to deal with his Ragnar? If not, that could be problematic. Okay, he's not going to deal with the Ragnar. He's going to take Kito Marksman down to 6 HP. He's going to take the Ragnar's damage. But because of Ragnar's draining ability, that is unfortunate for Miss Zero. Ragnar manages to land the finishing blow. Very, very close. That was right down to it. Anybody could have won that one. Very nicely played, and great to see that nobody was running anything like Xena. That would have been not very pleasant. If only you'd had one more green, Miss Zero. Yes, if only. Good game, though. Right down to the wire, right down to the wire. Okay, so up next is Sigant versus Kangi. Sigant versus Kangi. And this is the last fight that we have on the books. So maybe the last fight of the day, which is fine, because we've been going at this for like, an hour and 40 minutes now. Then you can discard into green and lychee to win. Yes. I know the number of fights that I've lost by one resource. It's always so frustrating. Okay, Sigant versus Kangi. When you guys are ready, please let me know in chat. And then get to fightins. Maybe you managed to watch all of the battles then. One more left. Yes, congratulations. Your friend apparently doesn't like you very much. Hasn't turned up yet. How am I feeling, Ark? I'm feeling much better than I was last week. Thank you, Daniel. Yes, I was not very well, but no, I'm feeling much better now. It helps that we've had a lot of very sunny days, so I've been outside a lot, which is nice. Okay, Sigant with S and 1 mutant up at the top, Kangi down the bottom with L and 2 mutants. Brings out Elf aggressively, and it is Sigant's turn. So let's see how this goes. He's debating with himself. Now, with enough light he has enough light that he could use a surprise attack if he wanted to. Both players are saying hello to each other, which is quite nice. You cannot change your destiny, mortal. Yes. I told him to come meet you. You don't want to meet me at 10 AM. I thought he was going to come early or something. No. Fashionably late. Okay, so Sigant brings out the defensive elf. Now, normally that would ensure that that elf was going to die, but with S's ability it wouldn't. Nevertheless, though, the command hunting will in fact kill it. Down goes the command hunting, and the elf deals 3 damage to Sigant, making Kangi, or getting Kangi up to being able to level up. Out comes the Goblin Shredder, which we just haven't seen in a very long time, but an excellent counter to the elf, and down it goes. Both players now ready to level up. Let's see. I don't think so, but I have to stop there for now, so you guys will still be watching. Okay. Kangi levels up, Sigant does the same, and does 3 damage to Kangi's HP. Both players doing okay for resources, a little bit unbalanced, and doing well for HP as well. Out comes Taeon, takes care of that Goblin Shredder. Shunts himself across to the left, and Kangi charges up for his second turn. Again, no reason to do anything else right now. I don't have the resources to spend on this sort of thing. Beastkin Jane comes out. Very interesting to see her not being used next to Nereva. Okay, and another charge. Jane transforms, turns into a 7/16. Windblade Taeon, of course, is the equivalent of a 7 attack damage onto Sigant because of the ability. Magic Missile comes out. That's going to take Jane back to normal, so that she'll deal some damage to Sigant. Not enough resources to kill her, it doesn't look like. So Kangi, no, he is actually just gonna go for the weakening. I'm not entirely sure why, honestly, because she's just gonna transform again. So that was a bit of a wasted move by Kangi there, I think. But I'm not wrong, she transforms, right? Yeah, so she's just gonna transform back and regain all of her HP. So a bit of a misplay by Kangi there. An unnecessary drain on the resources, but not too bad. And the magic missile was nice. Command hunting comes out, takes care of Taeon, and Sigant charges up. Jane deals some damage, transforms back into beast form, which of course replenishes her HP back to normal. Kangi levels up to 3. The resources all go into light, which helps helps for balancing. And he plays an elephant on the far right-hand side. Sigant not quite ready to level up to 3 yet. So let's see what he decides to go for here. He can't really afford to take damage from that elephant. Command hunting, of course, would be excellent in this situation, but he just used it. So unless he has a light one hanging around in the deck. That's not going to happen. Decides to bring out Golden Garden Cat, not blocking the elephant with it, just going to take that damage, no problems. The Beastkin, or Beast Jane I should say, she's not Beastkin form anymore, deals 7 damage to Kangi, and that 5 damage is of course going to become 6 onto Sigant. Kangi with enough resources now to use a command hunting, but of course the difficulty with that is that creature ideally needs to be in the middle, and you can't put a creature in the middle when Jane is on the field. Surprise attack comes out, it's going to take care of the Golden Garden Cat. And that's 6 damage coming out from that elephant. Sigant really needs to deal with that elephant now so that he can take a HP advantage here. Otherwise, the law of attrition is that the elephant's going to deal fatal damage before Jane can. He has enough resources now to cast Command Hunting again, but that would be a 2-action thing. So he decides to go for a Golden Bomb Squad. That's a good play there by Sigant. Blocks the elephant nicely. Not really much Kangi can do about that. Let's see what he decides to go for. A lot of nature resources, but it's not going to help him. Can't play his PLA on Jane. Can't drop a creature in the middle for the command hunting. So the nature resource is a little bit of a dead drop at the moment for Kangi. Out comes an aggressive Kadir's Flying Sword, a little bit to the left of middle, draining his mana all the way down to 0, and of course only 1 into light. So the only resource Kangi really has a lot of at the moment is nature, and this, as we've mentioned, is not ideal for him. Kangi charges up. Okay. Will he charge up again? Let's see. I mean, he pretty much has to with these resources. There's not really anything else he can do. And he does. Okay, so it goes for another charge, and it goes into light. Alright, so still nothing into mana. The Golden Bomb Squad is going to sit there. Capture comes out, and that's going to snag the elephant. Oh, brutal. Very nicely played there by Sigant. The Jane and the Golden Bomb Squad together are going to deal fatal damage. Down goes Kangi. Congratulations to Sigant for winning the match, and well played to Kangi. Nicely fought there, nicely fought. And very interesting to see a Jane being used in a non-gimmick deck. Generally, you just don't see her outside of, you know, like Nereva partnerships and things like that. But congratulations, well played. Okay. The Archound is making weird noises in the background. So that's a little bit strange. Alright, so that was the last fight on the books, and that was a lot of them. That's like 10, 12 fights in there. Congratulations. Okay, so good job to everybody. Now, the Blaze Blue collaboration is ending fairly soon, I'm pretty sure. Let me just double check that. Yes, 3 days and 11 hours. Okay. So, if you haven't already invested in the Blaze Blue, make sure you do so now. It's always a good idea to get a hold of limited edition cards. You can sell them for a lot of money. Even the bad ones can get sold for a fair amount of money later on, simply because there's no other way of getting a hold of them. So invest in those while it's going on. Also, generally, like a day or two after these collaborations and things finish, we tend to get like a big patch, a big release, some more cards, that kind of thing. So it may be that we can look forward to another big announcement on Thursday, in which case I will talk about it on Discord. We may have a special live stream for it if it's a big enough announcement. Otherwise, we'll do it again on next Sunday. So today, but next week, same time as today, 3 p.m. GMT +1. Calpish, damn, miscalculations killed you. Yes, that firebolt was a bit unfortunate. But we all do it. We all. A number of times I've thrown a removal spell out of something thinking it's going to remove it, only to find that, you know, it survived with like 1 HP, and I'm like, oh no. Mini B, you gotta go later, guys. Okay, see ya. Have fun with your friend. And yeah, we will finish here as well. If anybody has any quick questions or requests or suggestions or anything they want to make or ask, please do so now. Otherwise, we will come to an end, and I'll jump back into Discord. Once again, I've linked the Discord URL down below if anybody wants to jump in and get involved in that. Mr. Also, let's raid Neo Waifu Hell. Yes, if you are interested in voting for the Neo Waifu Hell thing, jump into the Discord as well. Follow the link that Miss has posted in there. It's not affiliated with me or anything we're doing, but you know, it's for fun, so jump on in. Calpish, will there be new cards there? There might be. There might be. Generally, I mean, it's been 11 days now since we had any kind of an update from Mabinogi from DevCat. So the implication is that there's a fairly large update coming up. Is Immortal Samurai, are you going to do any more deck build tryouts? Yes, I am considering making that like a separate live stream thing. So I mentioned this last week, I think. But if anybody is interested in me doing like a live stream where we put together decks and I go through sort of deck building strategies and things like that, jump into the Discord. Let me know that's what you'd like to see. Because you know, if nobody requests these things, then you know I probably won't end up doing them. So yes, jump into the Discord and just be heard. So yes. Okay, I think that's everything. If anybody else has any more questions, as I say, jump into the Discord. Let me know. I'm almost always around. By the way, just say IS for short. Short for what? IS. Oh, right, for your name. Right. Is Immortal Samurai. Okay, right. Okay, just say is. All right, I get it. I get it. You wish Lilith gets removed to Turbo? Yeah, the player base is like split right down the middle on Lilith. Some people say that she's either great or she's fine, and some people think that she's absolute cancer and needs to be removed. I'm perfectly happy with the way that she is, but I'm hoping that DevCat decides to buff other cards and make them more powerful, which is great. Because despite the fact that we all need to be running PLAs and Golden Garden Cats and things like that to a certain extent now, the meta in the upper platinum is actually pretty healthy. It's pretty healthy. The top 10 decks for the last few rounds have actually been very, very varied. So it's not just everybody using one showcased card. I mean, obviously, you know, a lot of Lilith and things up there, of course. But it's actually, the meta's actually not in a bad place right now. Brandon Jefferson, what do I think about Magical Beast Apophis and Lilith? Lilith is, as used as a combo. I'm not sure how they combo. I mean, they're both fine, but I don't know how either one would help the other. Yeah, I mean, they're fine. They're both good cards, but I mean, I don't see how they combo. So explain that to me. PLA and Lilith really very hard to defend against. Yes, they are. But I mean, this is the thing. Deck cards should be powerful, right? These cards are overpowered for the current baseline. Yes. But most people's reaction is if something is more powerful than the baseline, nerf it to the baseline. But Mabinogi Duel's baseline is really, really low. The base power of cards is very, very low. I don't want to see, you know, Lilith nerfed down here. I want to see everything else buffed up to Lilith. I want all the cards to be very powerful so that we have a lot of different choices. Miss Zero, more buff, Kangi, Lilith is fine, yep. More buff cards will mean more options, which means more decks, which means bigger meta, Miss Zero, yep, exactly correct. PLA is OP only. I mean, OP technically means overpowered, and again, for the current baseline, which is very, very low, yes, technically it's more powerful than the baseline. But don't nerf powerful cards, buff everything else. Right? Make everything as powerful as PLA. And then it's fun. I mean, it's one of the reasons why card games like Magic the Gathering and Yu-Gi-Oh! And so on and so forth do so well, because the power baseline for those games is very high. There's very few cards in those games which are just junk, basically. A lot of the cards are really, really good. How to counter Lilith, you don't know. Basically any counter to Lilith that does... Lilith has the same counters, let me put it this way. Lilith has exactly the same counters as any other on-play activate ability. So any of the traps will deal with her. Undini deals with her. The other version of Undini, the one that heals, deals with her. There's a lot, and not flooding the field deals with her. If you only ever keep like 1 or 2 creatures out onto the field, then Lilith is just pointless. So it's things like that. Don't nerf Golden Garden Cat, please. Yes, they were talking about nerfing Golden Garden Cat, but I think they changed their minds. I hope they changed their minds. Whippy, wish buff unique cards. Yeah. I would love to see the vampires get buffed. I'd love to see some of the succubuses get buffed. I'd love to see the dragons get buffed. The dragons are really interesting effects, but they're just not that good. I'd love to see these cards getting buffed. Rise, I activated my trap card. Yes. It's time to duel. Hard possible, yep. Nope, I never get in trouble with Lilith, says Kalpesh. She's fine, not OP. Yeah, I mean, it depends on your playstyle. And of course, every time a big, powerful card is released, this is what happens. You know, players have decks that they like, and the decks are doing really well, and they're very happy with them, and then the card is released that completely screws up the deck. The player's reaction is, stupid card, it's overpowered because my deck can't beat it. But it's supposed to be that way. Every new card is supposed to in some way affect the meta. Every new card should force you to redesign your deck, because no deck should be good all the time. Otherwise there's no point, really, is there? You can just buy the 12 cards that you need for that one deck and then never buy any cards ever again. So there's a little bit of that going on. Just have to keep in mind never to flood the battlefield. Yep. Automata buffs when, yeah. Yeah. When are the automatas getting buffed? Everybody loves Eliza. Everybody loves Turk. Where are the buffs for those guys? Those are amazing. I sound like Yugi, seriously, what the... I play a lot of Duel Links. And I have Destiny Draw on Yugi, so I use them a lot. Is out of all the Doom machines, which do you think is the best? Probably Doom Machine Core. That's the blue one, isn't it? But only because really the only way to use Doom machines is in a Jur deck, and Jur decks aren't that good, but Doom Machine Core works well there. Doom Machine Finale is also fairly good because you can use it in Jur or Gates of Hell, but again, it's all kind of gimmicky, pseudo-gimmicky. They're just a bit too expensive, is the problem, and way too easy to counter. I mean, the problem with the Doom Machines is that once somebody captures them, that's a huge problem. Tiboa, I ever get destroyed versus Lilith? A player's combined it with Mage Nereva, I think you mean, or what's her name? So you can't use spells and she transforms all monsters, so you give up. Yeah, that's the common play. Drop a Nereva and then drop Lilith, and then the transformations charge up Nereva. It's a problem, but then that's always going to be a problem. Nereva being charged up off creatures' abilities like that is always going to be an issue. I mean, Nereva, Xena, Skathach combos are always going to be annoying. Gorgons and so on and so forth. There's always going to be, I mean, anything that does transformation effect is going to be really annoying when paired next to Nereva. The thing is, it's always very obvious when they're playing Lilith, because they'll always have Dark, obviously, because you can't have any other color for Lilith. If you're playing in the arena, Lilith is always going to be the most expensive card in the deck, so you'll know that it's coming. And they will always try to save up as much darkness resources as possible. The problem with a Nereva Lilith deck is that they're both very expensive cards, and if the player can't get both of those cards out, or can't use them optimally, then the entire deck falls apart. So just realize that that's what they're trying to do. They want you to put a lot of creatures out onto the field, and just choose a deck that doesn't use a lot of field flood creatures. Don't go for chip damage, for example. Right, dude, I had Duel Links before it was out because Japanese game store. Lucky. That aside, the cards you can buy are pretty limited, so you uninstalled. Yeah, well, they're doing it deliberately because there's a lot of nonsense with the main Yu-Gi-Oh! Right now. I mean, what with Pendulum and all this other stuff. There's a lot of one-turn KO decks in Duel in the like the proper Yu-Gi-Oh! Thing. The Duel Links guys are adding more cards, are adding more archetypes like every month. So it's pretty cool to watch it grow. And I think we're just about to get into the GX era, which is going to be awesome. Elemental heroes! But yeah, I can see why you would think they're a bit limited. I mean, I do play Dev Pro Yu-Gi-Oh! As well, but I like Duel Links just because it's, it's less sort of, this guy went first, and so now I got to wait for 5 minutes while he goes through his entire deck, you know? Monsieur Lilith destroys Boros. Yeah, but Boros is like pseudo-gimmick anyway, so I don't feel bad about that. Wish 5-star spells and more 4-star spells. That would be very cool. Yeah, that'd be very cool. Well, Lilith destroys everything. Whatever, how good cards you got in Battlefield is rage. Yeah, but she doesn't destroy them. She hypnotizes them, right? And that's also quite important because she'll hypnotize them, but then she has to kill them. And you can transform them back before that happens. All you need to do is cast a spell on them. So, as somebody mentioned earlier, Faith in Certain Victory is actually a very good 1-cost card that you can target your own creatures with. Lilith comes out, she transforms your creatures into hypnotized creatures. You throw out Faith in Certain Victory, and boom, your creatures are back. Now, if Nerve is on the field, that's also a problem, but again, if they're running a Nerva Lilith deck, you're going to know that ahead of time because it has to be mana and it has to be dark. So just don't let it get to that situation. That's the point, really. Right, you had all the ritual cards. Okay, so you got Sonic Bird and Send You of the Thousand Hands. Yeah, if you know what I mean. Yeah, I know what you mean. Ritual's not as strong as it used to be in Duel Links right now. So yeah, might be worth coming back to that. Relinquished is still a bitch, of course, but yeah, so it goes. Run Summon Dead to counter Nerva, Raikinova. Yep, very good point. Summon Dead will counter Nerva. Lie Detector is a bit of a counter. Devil's Lie is a perfect counter for Nerva. There's a bunch of them, anyway. Kim Joa, do you play Hearthstone? Why? Or well, sorry, yes, Miss Zeros. Let's go up here first. Next year, Duel Links will be the fastest mobile game. Yeah, it's already growing huge. I'm working on it now. I'm going to start releasing some videos about it, honestly. Faith and Victory, love it. It's a very good card. It's a very good card. Kim Joa, do you play Hearthstone? Why or why not? I play Hearthstone sometimes. I'm not like a huge player. The problem is they keep releasing so many new cards and so many new packs, and recently it's become significantly more pay to win because they're not releasing adventures anymore. They're just releasing packs, and the drop rates are terrible. Really bad drop rates. So I don't play Hearthstone as much as I used to. Tibbo, you bought maybe 30 packs to get Lilith and nothing. You got Lilith. No, I haven't been trying for Lilith yet. I've been just working on the Blaze Blue. Once I get the S card from Blaze Blue, I'll work on getting Lilith. Basically, I mean, even if I had her, I probably wouldn't use it very much. I don't like using very powerful cards, generally speaking, because most people aren't using very powerful cards. I prefer to sort of deliberately nerf myself so I can get more of a fun fight. Kalpesh, for Nerva, use red summon. Oh, you mean Summon Dead? Yes, yeah. Summon Dead is very, very good. Right, yeah, but you can finish the game in a few turns with a ritual deck. That is, if your enemy doesn't do something about it. Yeah, well, I mean, you can say that about anything. I could murder every person in the world if they didn't do anything about it. Sure. Yes, I wonder if they will add packs for past collaborations to buy, like Magic the Gathering, Modern Masters, giving older cards. Like, a month ago, I would have said no, definitely not, because they never had before. But this latest Blaze Blue collaboration did actually bring back old Blaze Blue collaboration cards. So maybe. I kind of hope they bring back C1, just because when they first brought it out, I was playing at the time, but they said that the cards were only going to be usable in PvP for 1 month, after which you couldn't use them in PvP, so I didn't bother picking them up. And then they went, oh no, we've changed our mind now, you can use them in PvP, and they're freaking amazing! So I kind of want C1 to come back so I can get it again. Please no crash the market, Kemerai. Yeah, I mean, the market's a shithole anyway. I mean, crash the market. The market's in a really bad place. Let me smash, please. I got blue. I wouldn't be surprised if they do. They've done that with Mabinogi Game Gacha, so yeah, maybe. Yeah. Tibbo, can you visit my shop and look? My 1 million card is good. You only got one. I have no. You have to tell everybody your shop code, and I'll take a look at it. Calpish, no. Summon your own Lilith to counter your opponent's Lilith. Yeah, that's also an option. Miss Euro C2 is the most likely to come back. Yeah. Probably. I mean, if I had to guess which one was going to come back... Yeah, I mean... No, honestly, if I had to guess which one's going to come back, I'd say CLO is probably more likely. Probably. But... chances are none of them are going to come back. Chances are the Blaze Blue thing is just... because it was Golden Week and they didn't really feel like going into, you know, like designing 24 new cards. It just felt like designing 4 new ones because everyone was on holiday, so... Right, I hope they do a collab with Kojias, the MC of the anime, can hypnotize people kind of like... unless DevCat owns it, they're not going to do a collab of it. C1 was the only collaboration they did with a property that they didn't own. Matteo, had Amanza finished when C1 was released? I'm not sure what you mean. Amanza was a C1 card. So, no. Maybe we'd get the new characters if it's still going or ended recently. Well... Cielo had that one card that never came out. Yeah. I mean, CLO is one of their big. CLO is one of their big properties. So the new Blaze Blue event is likely a placeholder. Yeah, that's what it feels like. It feels like it was Golden Week, which is for those of you who don't know, it's a Japanese holiday. And obviously DevCat was on vacation over Golden Week. So it feels like they just didn't have the people in the office to make the big cards and do the big patches and things. So they just kind of quickly re-released the all collaboration. So I sigh. You mean cry? Please don't. That will make Samurai Quack sad. Okay, so any more questions? It's actually turned into a bit longer of a Q&A session. The market is a shithole. Okay, yes, I probably shouldn't be swearing. I apologize if anyone who's too young to hear such filthy words. But no, I mean, the market's an absolute mess. It really is. I mean, whether it crashes or not is kind of irrelevant. It's rubbish at the moment. The rich people are charging like 8 million gold for stuff. The poor people can't afford anything off it. The taxation is killing the new players. It really is. Monsieur DevCat doesn't own Blaze Blue. Nexon does. And also TBT was an anime, says 3 collabs they don't own. I am pretty sure Nexon has something to do with TBT. Biskin Arcadean, new 5-star card, yeah. Is S worth pulling for, just waiting and buying off shop? If you have the money, just buy her off the shop. Don't spend a lot of gems just to get her. Market is effed up, says Cowpage. Yes it is. TBT is Taboo Tattoo. Yes, it is. You have no cards in shop, Tibo. Okay, I don't know where from that thing. Hold on, the Archound wants out. Okay, Archound. Take your, look, this is gross. Take your thing with you. What the hell is that? Good. Okay, well, he's left something disgusting on the floor. That's nice. Okay, just put some cards in shop. You'll buy them too. I appreciate that. I'm gonna put up a bunch of Blaze Blue cards like a couple days after the Blaze Blue event is over, just in case anybody missed them. Yes, I find it funny when you go to discounted market and everything is expensive. Yes. I mean, the prices have just absolutely shot up. Since they increased the pricing cap, everybody is just drastically overpricing cards. And the fact that taxation is a thing means that people are pricing cards even higher. So it's all a bit problematic. If they did a JoJo's collab, that will break the game. Yeah, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Yes. Zawarudo. That would be awesome. Stands can only get damaged by other stands. Yes. Zawarudo paralyzes all opponents' creatures for 5 turns, and you do double damage to them all. It'd be just a shit load of clovers, yeah. Since then, didn't buy any BLZ. You got L in your first Blaze pack. You mean S, but yes, you didn't buy any more Blaze Blue packs again. Yeah, that's fair enough. Yeah, I mean, I want all of the cards, but I'm beginning to wonder whether or not it's worthwhile going for the S. Imagine if they tried Dragon Ball. That would be fantastic. Good lord. That would be like a whole new mechanic, Super Saiyan. They'd kind of like have to combine Beastkin mechanic with Succubus mechanic, you know, get down to a certain level and your HP and attack, it doubles and you transform to a new form. Wulong, you thought it was a discount shop, but it was me, Dio! Yes. Oh god, that anime got so weird. I mean, it started out weird, but it got really weird. Oh yeah, vampire DNA, and it killed me, but now I'm back in somebody else. It's a thing now. And everyone's dead, but they're not really. Okay. Like either the mangaka or I am on drugs. Probably the mangaka. Death Note collab. Now that would be really interesting, a Death Note collab. You play the card, it brings up a text box. You type in the name of a card that you think your opponent has, and if you're right, it gets banished from the game. It doesn't go into the graveyard, it just gets banished from the game. If they did a DBZ, 90% of the cards will cost over 7 resources. Yeah. What would be really interesting actually is almost like a Pokemon thing with the Dragon Ball Z. Cards that overlay other cards. You play a card and then you play another card and it overlays on top of that card and its effect will change based on the card that it's placed on. That would be really cool. So you could have like Super Saiyan creatures, and if you have a Super Saiyan card, you could play the Super Saiyan card on top of one of the Super Saiyan creatures and it would do something different depending on the thing. I think that would be awesome. Probably be terrible with only 12 cards in the deck, but fun. Believe you guys, Blizz cards, price never boost. Believe me, Kelpesh, limited edition cards always get a price boost. Hunter x Hunter collab. Yeah, they'd get like halfway through the release and then they'd go on hiatus for a year. Kestrel, hi there. Hello, welcome to the stream. You're just at the end. We're doing like a Q&A session. And I'm trying to ignore whatever it was, this disgusting thing that the dogs left on the carpet behind me. Card fight, Vanguard, collab card with cards. Okay. Phoenix Wright collab. You have clue cards. When you get a combo off, you make your opponent go to jail. Okay, the game just finishes immediately. You get sent to jail. There's this big objection appears on the screen, and then the game is over, and you win. Devil a God booster pack cards. I don't know that one actually. SpongeBob SquarePants collab. Wow. They could tie that in with Tiziana. Instead of summoning fruit, he summons like crab patties. Yeah. That would be interesting. Despicable Me collab. That would also be quite interesting. Get all 3 of the girls out onto the field and they do like Ash and Dust kind of thing. When all 3 of these cards are out onto the field, they'll do some sort of like super ability. Instantly win you the game. Your opponent forfeits because it's just too adorable. On the other hand, that would mean just minion cards everywhere. And we already have enough minions in the world. Metal Gear collab and Snake Tamer Nick summons all the snakes. Yeah. Solid Snake Tamer Nick. Yeah, that would be pretty cool. It'd be fascinating watching, like Hikaru's shuriken and Domingo's covering fire, all these little pew pew and shurikens taking down the Metal Gears. Nuclear missile activated, 20,000 damage. Attack on Titan collab. Maybe some sort of combo with barrier. That would be awesome. One person runs just nothing but Titans and the other person runs barrier. That would look horrifying. Very cool though. Oh man. So many good collab ideas. I hope DevCat's on the stream. Sao collaboration. That rings a bell, but I actually can't call that one to mind. You know what I want? And what Moth has actually done some cards on? I want a Studio Ghibli collaboration. I want Hayao Miyazaki's creations. I want Nausicaa. I want Princess Mononoke. I want Totoro. I want Kiki's Delivery Service. I want these cards. I would use nothing but those cards. Gundam Build Fight collab. You summon Gunplu builders and they summon Gunplu. That would be pretty cool. Sword Art Online says both Kalpesh and Brandon at exactly the same time. One Punch Man collab and is so okay. So suddenly everybody wants to Sword Art Online. One Punch Man collab. Yeah, well, it would just be summon Saitama and you win. Rise, trigger with sec. There's already a wall card. Yeah, it's barrier. That's what I'm talking about. Summons 5 walls onto your side of the field. There was a CGC card that was in the lab like 2 months ago. That was Trump. I mean, it was basically just a drawing of Trump. I think they and we were all like, yeah, it's so cool, it's so funny, and it never made it into final release. I think one of their lawyers must have taken them aside and gone, no. High School DxD collab, yes. High School DxD. How about what? Oh man, what is that one I'm thinking of? Oh no, it's that high school fighting one. I can't remember now. I can't remember. Not important. Yeah. No, I can't remember. Never mind. Never mind. Let's try. Why? I noticed that it's all anime, by the way. Work in some Western stuff. Work in some like Sherlock Holmes collaborations, right? That's in the public domain. You can use that. Metal Slug collab. Yeah, that'd be good. Yeah. Collab. They have a collab mega pack with cards based on all games in Nexon ever. Collab ever with ever. Yes. Yeah. A collaboration where all of the cards are the companies or the people that work at those companies. Bakano Test. I don't know that one actually. I don't know that one either. Bakano Test Shokanju. I don't know. Samurai Jack collab. Samurai Jack collab would be awesome. Hearthstone Magic Yu-Gi-Oh collab. Yeah, I don't see them getting the licensing for that somehow. Sao collab's Kirito will have plot armor instead of defense. He will never die. Yeah. Sherlock will show all opponent cards. That would be pretty cool, actually. Yeah. I'm playing a lot of Gwent right now, and the Nilf cards have a reveal mechanic, which is very, very cool. So, yeah. Marvel collaboration? Yeah, that would be pretty interesting, yeah. Jake and the Neverland Pirates collab. I think you're just making stuff up now. Adventure Time collab. I wanted an Adventure Time collab. And a Star versus the Forces of Evil. MD will boost popularity. The Arcadean collab. That would be the best collab of all time. I know. It really would be. It really would be. And all the cards would be instant wins. I get from Perfect Fate. Thank you very much, Perfect Fate. I appreciate it. Every little helps. Phone collab. The Nekida phone can't get destroyed. The Nokida? You mean Nokia? Or is it actually called Nekida? Can't get destroyed. Was it Samsung or was it Nokia that had the phone that was basically a grenade? Tom and Jerry collab. That would be pretty cool. Yes, they would counter each other. Porno stars collab. Okay, we're getting into adult territory now. I think that's probably a good place to stop. If you would like to continue discussing what possible collabs would be awesome, and even make some cards, collab cards of your own, and show to everybody, jump into the Discord channel and carry on with this edifying conversation. For now, though, I think it's the dictator god. Yeah. I think we'll wrap up there. So yes, if there is a big release or some sort of big patch or something on Thursday, then we may very well have a live stream on Thursday, 3 p.m. GMT +1. Just quickly, Brandon, when you build a deck, do you limit your cards to a specific resource number? Like if you have a 6 resource card to balance it by using 3 more cards, you use 4 resources. Yeah, it's called ramp. And yes, most people will do that. They will ensure that they have cards for early, mid, and late game, which means always have like 3. Well, like at least 2 creature cards that you can play on the first turn or 2. So like 1 or 2 resources, and then a couple of creatures that have 3 or 4 resources, and then like 1 creature has 1 big amount of resources. Sure. All cards are Master Seducers. Okay, so yes. Any more questions? Any more sort of requests, suggestions, etc., jump into the Discord and let me know. For now, thank you guys for showing up to the live stream. Despite the fact that it was a lazy Sunday, it's actually turned out to be a fairly busy and bustling one, which was great. And a special thank you to everybody who got involved in the actual combat. It's awesome, and you guys are awesome. Please tune in again on Sunday for more Sunday sub battles, and again, maybe on Thursday for some sort of big patch announcement. Maybe. Fingers crossed, though, right? Alright, so that's the end of the live stream. Thanks so much for turning up, and I'll see you guys either in the Discord or in the next one. Until then, have fun, and good luck.